Good morning or good day to all of you, my dear students in the contemporary world. Under me are BPA 1A, BPA 1B, BPA 1C, and BS Agriculture 3. No? So I know that you have lots of questions as to how you're going to answer or to answer the module 1 in the contemporary world. You may have also have some clarifications about the content of the module 1 in the midterms. No? I am making this video for you to be able to be guided, and so you can also uh, be learning about the content itself of the module 1. No? So I know terms are quite broad, terms are quite heavy, terms are quite difficult to understand. So I am here to simplify what is being provided in the module 1, especially in its abstraction. And so I'm also going to give you guidance as to how you're going to answer the assessment part of this module. No? Now, the topic in the module 1 is about one of the structures of globalization is actually global corporation. Na? Global corporation is also called a global company. Now, we know that if you have established a particular business and then you establish a company, that might be that may be going to be very well known in your country. However, a company cannot be called global if it does not involve two or more countries. No, so in order that your company be called as global company, you need to also expand your company or business to another country, wherein you may have a lot of customers in your own country. Your company uh, may be very developed in your own country, but it cannot be called as global economy, global company, if you did not expand to other countries. No, yon. So in order that a company be called a global company, you need to expand your business or your company to other countries. No, so it involves many or plenty countries. No, now what is an example of a global company? I think you are thinking about what could be one example of a global company. I'll give you one. For example, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is actually a global company. You also have, I think, Pepsi. Is that another company? Yeah, that's another company. No, so that's a global company. Coca-Cola actually started when World War II existed, or when World War II happened. They have already been operating for almost 50 years already, that time, all over the world. That on they were actually selling each product of Coke for only 50 cents. Now, from the during World War II, they were supplying actually the soldiers of the American soldiers, now the United States soldiers, for just 50 cents. And this time they expanded to many countries already. That is why Coca-Cola is called a global company. That's just one, and I know you have by that example you have already thought a lot of companies already that is already called as global company. But uh, when you talk about global company, you can actually just count all of them by just the fingers of your hands, or because they are not plenty. Now, when you are going to talk about global company or global corporations, there are a lot of benefits. First benefit is, of course, it can increase your customer base. So, for example, you have 1 million customers in the Philippines with your company, and then by the time you expanded, you will have more than that. No, so you can expand, you can increase your customers. No? Number two, it can reduce actually operating what do you call that, operating costs, because the more take note that when you talk about income of a particular company, you need to calculate revenue minus expenses. That is that would actually uh, imply to your income. No, so revenue minus expenses is equal to your income. So the more expansion you did, the more income you will have and the less expenses you will also have, no? So the more expansion, the better. More expansion of your company would imply to less expenses or the less cost, and the more revenue. Revenue minus expenses is equal to income. Never forget that. Another benefit is that you don't need to be worried about seasonality, because every country has different seasons. Like for example, Christmas. Uh, Christmas in the Philippines actually started in September, correct? From beer months to December. Actually, that is even expanded until January, until Three Kings, correct? So, if Christmas season in the Philippines happens that time, and after that, kasi, pang ano na, pang, parang cold na yung klima, no, sa Philippines. So, products that are very, very in demand in cold, cold climate or weather would actually go high. No? Medyo tataas yung demand ng mga products na pang malamig na panahon. While after that one, summer, yung mga products naman na medyo pang malamig, pang malamig lang na high demand, medyo hindi na siya ganun ka high demand, no? Medyo mag-lesser siya. That is why by the time you expand to another country that has a different climate, the Philippines, yung mga products na mabebenta lang during malamig na panahon ay mabebenta din doon sa kanila even if summer na dito sa Philippines. So you don't have to worry about seasonality of your products. For example, mainit sa atin, malamig naman sa America or malamig naman sa Europe, no? So, yung mga products na mabibenta lang dito, mostly sa Philippines na malamig, na pang malamig lang, and by the time darating na si summer, mabibenta pa rin iyon sa other countries na medyo malamig yung panahon, na? Yun, so you don't need to worry about seasonality of your products. Number 4, it can boost the growth rate of your company. That is for sure because, as I said, the more expansion you did, the more income you will get. So it will really rapidly boost the growth rate of your company. Last one is, of course, this is very important also, especially to your contribution to the country you are invested in, no? Economically. You will create more jobs, which is one of the most advantageous and one of the most beneficial aspect of a global company. You can create more jobs to the locals of that particular country, no? So that is just a very brief description or a very brief explanation of global corporations as one of the aspects or structures of globalization. I want you to know more. I want you to read further in your abstraction part, so you will discover and you will explore more about global corporations and global economy, no? Now, your question is probably about how you are going to answer your assessment part. I only want you to make a diagram that will tell us the importance of global corporations. You can have a Venn diagram and then you're going to put some explanations there as to different importance. You can have a process diagram or any diagrams that you can create, any chart that you can create, so long as you put a label and you are trying to express and tell us what is or what are the importance of global corporations. Okay? Your deadline of submission would be on, for BPA, that would be on Wednesday. For BSA, that would be on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So that would be this week. Okay, so submit that one using only the Google Drive that I shared to you. If you have not received the Google Drive yet, please ask your classmates for you to be added. Just give your email to your classmates. Okay, so good luck, and I hope you can answer the module very, very well. See you next week for another video for our module 2.